What is up, you beautiful gamers, and welcome back to Role-Playing Games, to my little own corner in the internet where we sometimes like to talk about RPGs. Mass Effect is one of the most beloved franchises, not only in the RPG genre but in the whole gaming world as well. The Legendary Edition is a remaster that aims to make the experience of the games a whole lot more enjoyable. This is not a review, because for that I will actually need to play all of the games completely. It's pretty much my first impressions on the game and all of the differences that the Legendary Edition holds, and having played the original games back in the day, if it's a good remaster. First, let's go through the list of the more noticeable and important changes. You have the photo mode, unified achievements throughout all of the 3 different games in a single launcher. Essentially what you do is that you have this little launcher and you choose which game would you like to play, but essentially it's like the whole game, the 3 games inside of it, something like it happens like the Master Chief Collection. And the unified character creation, it is the same for every Mass Effect, which is highly appreciated, since with this thing comes one of the major graphical overhauls in the game, character models. But more on that later. Aside from the Pinnacle Station for Mass Effect 1, all of the DLC for the games is here. The Pinnacle Station got the files corrupted. That's something that happened in previous ports, so that's something that cannot be accomplished in here. Although there are over 40 DLCs, yeah, they were going rampage back in the day with the DLC fever. The Genesis comics, which I can only praise hugely. Before you play Mass Effect 2 or 3, in case you want to jump right over one of those, you'll be able to see a rundown on the events of previous games while you choose the most important outcomes of the previous games, and even so the little decisions that happen around there. Those are the major changes for the complete package. Let's go for a rundown of the individual games, changes and quality of life improvements. First, Mass Effect 1, macro sections are more enjoyable, not so floaty, and there is a turbo button as well. The HUD from Mass Effect 1 looks a little bit more like it does in 3, and you can now sprint in the Citadel. Huge little change. All classes can use every single weapon now, and aiming down sights has been tweaked a little bit. Cover has been changed so that you don't actually need to crouch to enter low covers. Sound has been tweaked as well. Inventory changes include being able to mark items by name and level, and a junk option to sell more easily. Also, level cap of 60 is now reduced to 30, so that you don't actually have to go through the whole game on New Game Plus to get to level 60. However, if you wish to keep this the classico, you can actually do so. Mass Effect 2 more noticeable changes include more ammo drops from enemies, although I would like to add my personal opinion in here. I still believe that a better idea would have been to raise up the maximum ammo capacity on some weapons like the sniper. Dude, 10 rounds and then I have to get out of my little beach camping place to gather ammo. No bueno, compadre, I need more ammo. No, I do not need to get up my camping place. Versatility on combat by being frenetic or passive should be an option, not an obligation, but that's just me. Sorry for that, let's move on. Morality has been tweaked, thank God above in the skies. Your decision making and overall morality choices then hugely impact Mass Effect 3. And Mass Effect 2 really restrained you somehow on what you wanted to be, on the outcomes you wanted to obtain by doing all of these little decisions. Also, the Armor and Weapons DLC for Mass Effect 2, previously accessed just by downloading it, has been scattered throughout the game, finds and merchants to make it more immersive. And then moving on to Mass Effect 3, no multiplayer, that sucks. Mass Effect multiplayer was pretty solid, dude. Not the best thing out there, but pretty solid, which brings us to Galactic readiness for the main campaign. Not having the outside thingies like the apps and the multiplayer to obtain the previously mentioned, the emphasis is moved a whole lot more to character save imports from Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. If you want to only play Mass Effect 3, then you have to do every little single thingy for the best possible outcome at the end of the game. Remember that hideous 3 colors ending for Mass Effect 3 as well, talking about the game. Well, if you're a vet, you know of the post-game DLC fix that the extended cut ending version that changes a whole bunch of cinematic and dialogue impact depending on the endings you have. That's been added natively to Mass Effect 3. Alright, so what do I think about Mass Effect Legendary Edition? Have in mind that we're still talking about a whole decade games. Once more so than others. The gameplay feels old, dude. it feels stiff. While they can actually make some quality of life improvements here and there, those do not suffice to make that much bearable having to play an older game if you hold nowadays standards for gaming. I myself enjoy playing older games and I have no issues with it, and I actually do it on a fairly regular basis, but I can understand if not everyone feels that way. The games, all of them, some more than others, they feel old, and they still play old. Mass Effect 1 more than the others. There's this stiffness on characters sprinting, moving, hiding, shooting that just shouts I'm an older game. That's especially a problem in the later games where Mass Effect forces you to swap weapons or to be frenetic and get out of cover to fight in a game that doesn't feel properly built for that. What makes this game so gorgeous, beautiful, amazing, it's just the overall world. It's an amazing game. They are amazing games with lots of pioneering on mechanics that you wouldn't see in those days, and even nowadays many games out there don't have the same degree of depthness in them. Decisions actually matter. They impact the following games, romancing characters, tons of readings. If you want to get invested in the world, the narrative is dramatic, tense, yet it's well paced. Mass Effect is a beautiful experience that I think everyone should try at least once. And just to wrap up, what about the UC, the graphical upgrade? I insist these are really old games. Mass Effect 2 and 3 might bypass the aging a little bit more, not so much with Mass Effect 1. Having in mind that this is a remaster, not a remake, I'm actually quite happy to say this is how a remaster should look like. This is a remaster well done. We have so many lazy remasters out there that just feel like a re-release. Upscale the resolution as well as some textures, increase FPS and tweak contrast here and there to say that Illumination has been done too. Mass Effect does much more than that. Character models feel so much pleasing to watch. You still have the occasional creepo with staring eyes looking down your soul, but if we see Mass Effect 1 for example, characters and NPCs don't feel that plastic and cardboard skin anymore. They're not by any means actual gen or last gen looking characters, but they are significantly more pleasing to the eye. Anti-aliasing, dude, the armors look sharp, really sharp, detailed, and with those satisfying protuberances instead of spikes where they're supposed to have them. Characters no longer feel painted with textures, they actually look like a solid tangible object on the armors. So good to watch, dude, especially in cinematics and conversations. And this is also true for the little shit NPCs staring at the wall no one cares about. Clothing is much more detailed. The world overall still has this squared feel about it. It's a remaster, dude, not a remake. Not much you can do about the polygons. Although it has to be said, the remaster 4K Ultra HD actually hurts the game sometimes. This being a remaster, polygons are still the same as they used to be, and the squareness can be seen in characters' heads and faces at times. Illumination is where I see most of the hardcore fans being upset about it. It has changed a lot, and in some specific levels can change the dramatism they used to have or what you became used to. Still, Illumination feels better, much better, bright and grey where it should be and dark and black where it should be. Illumination sources feel much more natural, although sometimes they trespass through walls and at other times it can blind you during fights as well. Yet I would say that adds to the immersion of positioning. Like I said, this is how a remaster should feel like. And even more than that, dude, 3 games, all of the DLCs, pretty substantial graphical overhaul, really noticeable graphical overhaul for $60. This is the best way to experience Mass Effect right now. I can't be more happy with it. Go out there, buy it, play it, wash yourself in it, and tell me in the comments below what are your opinions on Mass Effect Legendary Edition. What are your impressions? That being said, I'll see you damn gorgeous, sexy ass, beautiful peoples in the next one. Stay safe, stay awesome, stay beautiful, and I'll see you later.